what had, what had happened was, what happened was I got stuck talking to people in the newsroom, which should come as no surprise to anyone. So my tardiness is inexcusable. However, I'm here now, everyone. Thank you. Another North Carolina college is now moving to remote learning. We are beginning with breaking news this afternoon. NC State University is switching to online learning for the semester for all undergraduate students. The university says 3 clusters have been identified off campus and in the Greek Village housing in the last 2 days. Reports of large parties off campus in those apartments are linked to some of those clusters. 7 Greek houses are now quarantined because of coronavirus cases. More than 500 students are in quarantine at NC State. Most are living off campus. Those quarantine students either tested positive or came into contact with someone who has the virus. NC State says they're investigating other possible clusters off campus. Remote learning starts on Monday. The university did not close campus housing, so students can stay if they want to, and there will be no penalties against students who want to leave campus housing. And students get prorated reimbursement for both housing and dining. Thanks so much for watching the 4 to 5 this afternoon. I'm Maddie Gardner, joined by Tahisha Moise and Eric Chilton. As you know, this is an interactive show. We like to chat with you on our live streams, and we are live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Several employees at the Guilford Metro 911 Center tested positive for coronavirus. The city of Greensboro says the first case was identified last Friday. 26 other people were then tested and 6 of them were positive. Guilford Metro 911's director Melanie Neal says the positive cases will not impact operations and people should still call 911 if they need help. Two Alamance Burlington schools are now reporting cases of coronavirus. Altamaha Ossipee Elementary School in Elon closed on Monday for cleaning after 2 people there tested positive. This according to a school board member. There is at least 1 case at Highland Elementary School in Burlington. WFMI News 2's Jess Winters is digging deeper into these new cases, and she'll have updates coming up at 5.
In the meantime, High Point University identified 3 active cases on campus. The school updates the number of cases daily on their website. The Office of Student Life works with anyone who tests positive to contact trace and help quarantine individuals. If you remember, the university welcomed back students last Saturday.
While colleges across the nation are now having issues with controlling the spread of COVID-19, schools have reported more than 1,000 coronavirus cases on campuses since July. Michigan State is shifting back to remote learning only this fall semester after welcoming students back. The University of Connecticut is kicking several students out of student housing for hosting a dorm party. And Notre Dame is now reporting more than 200 cases on campus just 2 weeks into the semester. The school also moved to remote learning for at least the next 2 weeks. Now, some schools are sending students home. Others are trying to make on-campus learning happen. But what is the answer? How should colleges handle this pandemic? I asked you about it on my Facebook page. Let's take a look at what a few of you had to say this afternoon. Karen Ryder said, "There is no right answer. It's all sad and it breaks my heart for all students. But on the bright side, thank goodness for the internet and laptops and the amazing bright young minds that know how to use them. If this had happened when we were in college, there would have been the capability of online learning or virtually connecting, praying for all of them on campus or at home. This can't be easy." Absolutely. Wendy Denny Johnson said, "I think they have their money for the semester and money for dorms, so go ahead and send them back home to learn virtually." And Bobby Odom said, "I think online learning would be best starting out after seeing what's happening on UNC and other campuses." Definitely a mess here that colleges are encountering. And guys, it seems like in the classroom and when they're actually on campus learning, that they seem to be able to social distance and wear their masks, but we're hearing more about these off-campus parties that are really starting these clusters of cases.
Yeah, I would think, I mean, if it's me.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Taisha, you go first.
I was just going to say, you think about the personal responsibility that these students have to take, and they're showing us time and time again that some of them aren't taking that personal responsibility and are kind of ruining it, you know, for the rest of the students.
And there's 2 sides of this to me. It's like, if I am that college kid, I want to be on campus, and I just you would hope that they're responsible about it. I know some are, some aren't. And the universities probably want them there too, so that they can still get that money. So I know as a parent, I'd be worried sick about my kid going, but I can understand why they want to be in that college environment. It's kind of part of the whole process.
Absolutely. And you think about it, I mean, some of these students are as young as 18. So are we really going to rely on them and their personal responsibility not to go to a party when they're in college? I mean, it's really was set up not to succeed here, but I surely do hope that college campuses can figure it out, because it's not fair to students or professors who are on campus to have to teach kids through a laptop screen. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure we'll hear more colleges doing the same thing. Well, back here in the Triad, Cone Health is partnering with the Guilford County Division of Public Health for free coronavirus testing. That testing will happen tomorrow at Daystar Church from 9 to 11 a.m. And then it'll happen Saturday at Mount Zion Church of God from 8 to noon. And there will be another one next Thursday at Daystar Church. Now, for these, you do not need a doctor's referral. You are asked to bring an insurance card if you have it, but insurance is not required. Wear a mask when you go, and if you have any questions, you can call 336-890-1140. In the meantime, Randolph County Public Health is offering its residents free testing as well. This is happening next Tuesday from 4 to 7 p.m. at Crestview Wesleyan Church and next Wednesday from 5 to 8 p.m. at Northgate Commons. No appointment needed for these. There will also be free testing happening every Friday, starting this Friday at Randolph County Public Health. And that testing goes from 7 to 11, and you will need to pre-register for these test times. We have all the information you need to know on our website, WFMYnews2.com.
Got a lot of weather to talk about, something for everybody in this forecast, that's for sure. We'll start out with a look at temperatures across the area. Now, the range is about from 79 to 84. That's kind of it. Not too bad, not a big spread for us. So most of you are in that 79-degree range in Greensboro, and in High Point, 80 in Winston-Salem. Will go up to 84 for Burlington, Asheboro at 81. In the mountain and foothill communities, obviously cooler, and the highest elevations up there toward Boone. It's only 69 degrees. I bet it feels very comfortable. Tonight, 68 will be our overnight low. We look for cloudy skies and scattered showers and storms. In fact, we're already seeing that. The high tomorrow, by the way, is only 80. That's about 6 degrees below normal for us this time of the year. Look at the radar. The scattered showers are just that, widely scattered. This is one of those situations where you might get rain and your neighbor doesn't. It's just that's the way it is. Summer in North Carolina, really. The heaviest thunderstorm activity, and by the way, no watches or warnings right now, or no warnings to speak of. If you look back up northern parts of Yadkin County and southern parts of Surrey County, we're seeing some pretty heavy showers that way. All of that is drifting back down to the south. And look how unstable it is all across our state. As that stationary front kind of lingers for a while, that moisture hangs in, and we're going to see that elevated chance of showers for maybe another day or so. Now, coming up in the next segment, we'll get you a 7-day, but we're also going to talk about the tropics out there heating up 2 different systems that could become named storms within the next several days.
Let's turn now to your 4 to 5 roundup. Federal prosecutors in New York indicted Steve Bannon, President Donald Trump's former White House chief strategist. He allegedly deceived donors in a $25 million fundraising campaign to build a wall along the southern border. Prosecutors said people were reportedly assured that all of the money raised would go to build the wall, but those claims were false. Instead, the Justice Department said Bannon and others personally profited from the fundraising scheme. Senator Kamala Harris accepted the nomination for vice president on night 3 of the Democratic National Convention. She is the first woman of color on a major party's ticket. The night virtually featured many of the party's female leaders, including Elizabeth Warren, Nancy Pelosi, and Hillary Clinton. Former President Barack Obama also spoke, and tonight Joe Biden will accept the party's nomination for president. First Lady Melania Trump is set to speak at next week's Republican National Convention. She will speak live Tuesday night from the White House Rose Garden that's undergoing renovation under her direction. President Trump is set to formally accept the Republican nomination from the White House next Thursday. In AMC Theaters, the country's largest movie theater chain reopens today with retro ticket prices of 15 cents per movie. About 1/6 of the cinemas nationwide will reopen, just more than 100 locations. Regal Cinemas, the second largest chain, will reopen some of their locations tomorrow. The 4 to 5 is live during the break on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Join our conversation. We'd love to hear what you have to say this afternoon. We'll be back. Welcome back to your 4 to 5. Guilford County's Division of Public Health is making sure your student is up to date on vaccines. They are holding a series of immunization clinics for 7th and 12th grade students. The first clinic is this Saturday from 9 until 1 at the Griffin and Windsor Recreation Centers. Now, if you can't make it this Saturday, there is another event next Saturday at both Moorhead and Kraft Recreation Centers. You can schedule an appointment by calling 336-641-3245. By the way, Governor Roy Cooper did extend proof of vaccinations for schools through October.
Meanwhile, in another state, in Massachusetts, all students are now required to get a flu shot before the end of the year. The state public health department says any child 6 months or older will have to get a flu shot if they are enrolled in daycare, pre-K, or school. There are exemptions for medical or religious reasons, however. Homeschooled students or college students living off campus are also exempt. And Massachusetts is the first state to require a flu shot for all students. Now, I wanted to get your thoughts on this story, so I posted it on my Facebook page and asked for your comments. Let's read a few of them today. CJ Applegate says, absolutely should have been required a long time ago. Katie says, I'm on the fence about this. I understand that if you get sick, there might be some confusion on what you have, COVID or flu. Wanda says, I don't think it's right for the government to make anyone do something like this, but I see why they want to do it. Natalie says, this is a democracy, not a dictatorship. Not everyone can tolerate the flu vaccine due to allergies or autoimmune issues. This should not be mandatory. Now, as I mentioned, there are some exceptions to this rule, of course. And you know, the thing is, there are other immunizations, guys, that students have to get. But I get where the controversy is for sure with the flu shot.
And this has always been a hot topic, right? We debate this almost every year in some form on social media. So I don't know what the answer is, but I think personally, I believe in vaccinations. I know that there is science to back up vaccinations. I believe that they are safe, so I don't have a problem with all students having to get the flu shot. I think it would help, especially in this time of COVID. But again, with that government mandate, that's where people are going to get upset about things like this.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. I guess I would say personally, I don't like the idea of the government telling us you have to get a flu shot. However, I think everybody should get a flu shot. That's my opinion. And I will say this, I know someone who got COVID, which developed, by the way, into double pneumonia. And you think about, and they said that was worse than what they experienced with COVID. So my issue is that if you were to get COVID, and then you didn't get your flu shot and you got the flu on top of it, that could be more deadly than just getting one or the other. So I would vote for getting it.
All right, well, we want to hear your thoughts about this. You can join our conversation on Facebook. Use our hashtag 4 to 5, and we'll see you there.
You know, for those of us that grew up listening to a local radio station, we know how exciting it was when you actually got to call and sometimes talk to the DJ, and sometimes they would put you on the air. You could actually make a request back in the day. Now, a lot of that is gone because of automation and technology these days. But there's a station in coastal North Carolina in Hatteras that it's the likes of which we will never see again, the way they run this station, a community, a true community radio station. Welcome to Radio Hatteras.
Susan, I'm such an old soul, and especially when it comes to retro TV and radio, I love this story. This is like a jewel find for our coastal segment. Describe what Radio Hatteras is and how it works.
You have an island community here on the coast of North Carolina that needs to know when there are power outages or tidal overwashes or a wreck in the middle of Highway 12, which connects some 21 communities along the Outer Banks. So there was a real need for a station that could tell this kind of critical minutia, if you will.
And it's interesting because, I mean, this is total volunteer, no commercials, no anything, right? Like, you don't hear about this ever.
No, because you'd have to be in the area in order to listen to it. But it is completely staffed. The graphics, the engineering, all the sound is completely staffed by volunteers.
You told me that it's really minutia. Like, they may even say something like, hey, you know, there's a small bump up by Fred's house. You got to avoid that road.
Totally. Because if you're trying to get down to Rodant to surf and you can't get through because, you know, a pipe has broken and there's a gas line leak, then you want to go to another beach to surf. So they need that kind of thing. Plus the really important announcements like small craft warnings or hurricane watches, storm watches, because so much of the island depends on what they call their watermen and women, fishermen, sailors, you know, that tourists who need to get to the bike shop. So if they can't get there, they need to know that Highway 12 is closed for 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's a really cool situation. You probably will never see this again. The backstory, which we didn't have time to get into, you can read about that in this story, which I put in WFMYnews.com. But basically, they bought some radio frequencies back in the day and said, you know what, I'm not going to use them. Do you guys want to do something with this? And they said yes. So there's no payroll. They're all volunteers. The music comes from locals donating vinyl, cassettes, and 8 tracks, she said. So it's a really cool project, sort of. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm skipping what you guys said about it, because I asked you, because we all missed the old radio station. Now, let me say this before I get into this. I know one of my friends is going to text me any minute now. I will say this. Chris and Chris on Rock 92 is a local live radio broadcast. So we still have some of that, and they're good buddies of mine, so I can hear it now if I say we don't have that anymore. Sometimes you have that. Here's what everybody said when I said, what do you miss about the old days of radio, though? Andrew Dawes said variety shows with comedy, stories, and music. Yeah, that's going way back. Ryan Daniel Purdue said radio stations used to be rich and unique and special to each town. Now so many stations are just alike. Kelly Queen says, local DJs. I hate that almost all programming is syndicated now. And Susan says that you could actually call in and make requests, and it was truly local. Sandy Cooley says a name that a lot of people brought up, Dusty Dunn, 1320 WCOG, listening to the countdown on New Year's Eve is what she misses. So pretty cool stuff there, guys. It is a situation, this one radio station, that you probably will never see again.
Yeah, it's really cool, Eric. I'm glad you highlighted them in this story. You know, I was thinking the other day, I listened to a local radio show here in the Triad, and because I'm not driving to work in the morning anymore, I haven't heard those DJs in so long. And I was thinking about it the other day because I follow a few of them on social media. I'm saying, I miss these guys. I'm not like spending time with them every morning anymore.
It's true.
Yeah, you're not finding out what's happening in their life, but hey, that's why we have social media. Now, for me in the radio, I have a special relationship because I used to always go to a radio station with my dad growing up because he would have a real estate talk show, and it would be called Max Moyes Real Estate Talk. It's not in English, so you wouldn't be able to understand what he's saying, but I do miss going to the station with my dad. Now he does everything virtually. He has a station, a studio set up in his home office.
Yeah, it's awesome. I will say, requesting songs on the radio, that used to be amazing when you finally got through and then you heard yourself on the radio and then there'd be the feedback and you had to turn it down. They'd say, turn down your radio.
It would be so cool. We have to mention Laura Songster too. She's
Oh,
been
of
a friend of
course.
WFMY for a long time.
Absolutely. All right, more of the 4 to 5s coming up right after this. Stick around. Welcome back to your 4 to 5. This might be my favorite story of the day. People in Tokyo are getting into the Halloween spirit early and during a pandemic with a haunted drive-through. They say it helps maintain the thrill of Halloween while also social distancing. So zombies can come right up to your car, but of course you're safe from any of their germs with the window between you and the actors. Customers are trapped in their car for 13 minutes, and of course they can't run away like they would in a traditional haunted house. I just curl up in the floorboard if I have to. But here's the best part. When the ride is over, the zombies help clean any fake blood off of your car before they send the families away. See, kind zombies helping you get your car cleaner after they scare you.
So really, let's be honest, that's a zombie car wash. I'll take that. I'll take that at Halloween. That would work. Let's see what's going on. We talked about a 7-day before, so I promised you that. Let's get that, and then I want to talk about the tropics briefly. But you see, tonight, by the way, scattered storms. We do see them widely scattered across the area, so you're more than likely at least to see a little bit of rain. It's a 60% chance for Friday evening as well, afternoon and evening. Same situation, but cooler, but 80 degrees, not bad. We start to build back in, and we get dry for a while. The rain chances Saturday still up there at 50-50 shot and 83, but Sunday, it's a 30%, which is fairly normal through Thursday of next week. Most of next week, it's dry and sunny, and temperatures go back in the upper 80s, close to 90 degrees, or at least within a degree or so of 90. Quick look at the tropics. 2 systems we're watching. You can see one that's further south of Cuba, maybe toward Grand Cayman, that area, another one out in the middle of the Atlantic. The one in the Atlantic is one that we'll watch because we got a long way to go, but by maybe into the weekend, we'll have a better picture whether that will affect the United States. Right now, Florida, the biggest concern.
Come on, IFB.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. I'm Maddie Gardner, joined by Tahisha Moise and Eric Chilton this Thursday afternoon. If you are new here, this is an interactive newscast. We like to chat with you on our live streams. You can find those on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We will chat back. Make sure you use our hashtag 4 to 5. And we begin this half hour with your 4 to 5 roundup. Today, the NAACP of Alamance County spoke to the media about recent arrests during protest over the Confederate monument in Graham. The 4 people arrested for civil disobedience, including the chapter's president, were there this morning. They say the monument constitutes hate speech and they have a right to protest peacefully and will continue to do so until that statue is removed. UNCG is collecting items for the Triad Black Lives Matter collection. They're archiving documents, photos, videos, signs, clothes, and creative works related to the Black Lives Matter movement and the George Floyd protest. The project is ongoing and you can submit physical and digital material. You can learn more through the UNCG Office of Community Engagement. Guilford County Schools is still waiting on about 60,000 laptops to arrive to help facilitate remote learning, but they may not arrive until November. In the meantime, GCS is calling on the community to donate devices or cash to help fill the gap for 5,000 students who do not have a device. You can bring a donated laptop to 712 North Eugene Street in Greensboro or donate that money to the Guilford Education Alliance, and we will have much more on this coming up in just a few minutes. SAS Guilford is now offering free live tutoring this fall to K through 8th grade students in Guilford County. Tutors will be available to help kids with math, reading, science, and social studies. The sessions are one-on-one Zoom calls, and parents can register students for up to 2 hours a week. Registration is now open, and that tutoring begins on September 8th. A U.S. District Court judge ruled in favor of a Texas teenager who was suspended from school for refusing to cut his dreadlocks. Caden Bradford and his mother argued that getting rid of his dreads was like getting rid of part of his heritage. The school suspended Bradford, saying his hair violated their dress code policy. The court ruled that the school cannot enforce a hair length policy by forcing a student to cut his or her hair. Now, this story made national news when a similar punishment affected Bradford's cousin, DeAndre Arnold. Arnold also refused to cut his dreads, and he ended up transferring schools.
Guilford County Schools is continuing their free meal program this month. Now, families do have to complete an application for it, and if you haven't done it yet, you still have some time. You can find the application on lunchapplication.com or at your child's school. If you experience a change in income, job loss, or added other family members to your household, check to see if the family qualifies for the meal distribution. Parents who received the benefit notification letters after July 1st do not need to fill an application. Just be sure that that letter includes the names of all the students in the household. It will be one application per family. Now, 4 more schools were added to the distribution list: Faust, McNair, and Guilford Elementary Schools and Gateway Education Center. The meals are served Monday through Friday from 11 to noon at 45 schools and from 11 to 1 at 65 neighborhood locations. Downtown Greensboro's Open Streets program continues this weekend. It'll take place on Elm Street Friday and Saturday. So part of the street will be shut down starting at 4 p.m. Friday to 10 p.m. on Saturday. It will be going on every weekend until September 5th.
And over in Winston-Salem, the Streetery is happening again this weekend. That's when Trade Street between 5th Street and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive shut down for outdoor dining. So on Saturday, 4th Street between Liberty and Spruce Street will be closed. So a little bit of some different closures between Friday and Saturday. This happens from 5 until 10 on both nights.
We are in the heart of hurricane season right now, and the American Red Cross says that it's in dire need of volunteers. The Red Cross is hoping to fill positions in an upcoming virtual fair. Margaret Urga has volunteered here in the Triad for the last 20 years. She says the organization needs shelter volunteers.
We need folks that can go in and do like the reception area, registration, working in the dormitory with clients that are in the dorm. Another big push that of folks that we need are health services volunteers, folks that are licensed medical professionals.
Now, all volunteers will be trained accordingly. Urga says COVID-19 has thrown a wrench in how they approach situations. It's also caused past volunteers to step back from their roles. Regardless, Urga says it's so impactful to make a difference.
Unfortunately, in a COVID environment, I can't give them a hug, but those have been some of the most memorable things for me is to give someone a little breathing space that may have had the worst day of their life and give them that hope and help them start that process of recovery.
You can learn more about what it means to be a volunteer at the Disaster Response Virtual Volunteer Fair. Now that will be happening on Tuesday, September 1st. It'll go from 12 to 1 p.m. So then you will need to register by the 28th. I've linked you to the registration form on our website.
All right, let's chat about our forecast with a low tonight of 68 degrees. Not too bad, really. Cloudy, though, and we will see scattered showers and isolated storms. Already seeing that. We'll show you the radar in a sec. 80 degrees tomorrow, though. Much cooler. Nice, comfortable temperature-wise. But we get the added rain chance because we're a little unsettled with that stationary front just sitting right over North Carolina. You can see it on the radar. Showers, again, as we mentioned, they are widely scattered. We're not seeing warnings at this time because we're just really not as warm as we could be to see thunderstorm activity. But you will see some heavier showers. It's really up closer to, say, Surrey County and a little bit into Stokes, Yadkin County getting some of that too. Eastern and southeastern Guilford County, especially around Pleasant Garden, you might get a heavier shower if you haven't already seen that. And again, when you look at the big picture here, we're just generally unsettled. There's that stationary front, the moisture kind of streaming in from the south around that ridge of high pressure that's out to our east and a little bit to the north. And so it just sits over us for another day. I think, let's say a day and a half, Friday and Saturday, the rain chances are elevated. Here's your 7-day forecast. But temperatures, they gradually build. 80 degrees Friday, not bad. 60% chance of showers and storms, 50% Saturday, and we squeak it up to 83. Then we're up to 85 on Sunday. Rain chances start to drop down a bit, and we're fairly dry and sunny and warmer, upper 80s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with only a 20% chance of a pop-up late day shower or storm.
All right, Tana, so this is one of those things we were just talking about earlier in the 4 to 5, but we learned about yesterday on air.
That's right. We were talking viewers' questions and stuff like that, and donations, of course, came up. So 5,200 kids, they got no device.
Right, in Guilford County, but the district, they said that they ordered thousands of computers and devices.
Right, and they're coming in now, not until late November, due to so many districts doing the same thing.
Our new devices that are scheduled to be delivered probably in late November. Until they do get here, we need help in getting students devices so that they can do their work.
All right, so it is day 4 of school and 5,200 students don't have a device to do their remote learning. The district is asking for gently used devices to be dropped off, not at schools, but at the district offices. And you can find the info here in the 2 Wants to Know section. There also is a way for you to donate money to put towards buying devices right now.
And it's about $350 to buy a student one of those devices that could be used, right?
That's right, yeah. And the key point, it's not the district that you're actually donating to. It is the Guilford Education Alliance, and they don't have to go through the same bidding processes on devices and wait like the district has to. They can just go out, take the donation, and use it to buy something for the kids. All right, donations and devices are just one solution. A second solution in the works is what we've heard about too before. It is called those learning centers. We're going to talk about them more at 5 o'clock. All right, a short time later, 2 Wants to Know is taking your questions. 336-379-5775. We have several lawyers joining us today, and you can ask about employment, like can your boss make you take vacation time if you're sick with COVID, or about wills and estates. A lot of people think if they don't have kids, they don't need a will. Your questions answered tonight.
Teachers and students are trucking along the best way they can this school year, and a Florida teacher is bringing that phrase to life in her first grade classroom. Kim Martin decided to decorate all of her students' desks to look like trucks, getting creative with social distance enforcement. And she did that by putting plexiglass around the desks, and students are separated from each other, but as you can see, in a fun way. Martin says she also plans to give students their own keychains so they can drive their new rides into their future.
And two Georgia teachers are popping off this school year. Callie Evans and Audrey Williams rewrote the lyrics to Jack Harlow's What's Poppin' to bring some lightheartedness to an uncertain school year.
Miss Williams, been popping. 2020 new school year dropping. No COVID-19, ain't worried about a thing when it come to me, ain't no stopping.
Yeah, it just makes you want to dance. So the original What's Poppin' video was directed by Jamal Overstreet, and he responded to the remix saying, students, if Mrs. Evans or Mrs. Williams is not your teacher, please contact your advisor. So guys, can you imagine going back to high school, having to do this whole remote online learning thing, and then your teachers release that? It's so awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I just feel like I'm thinking back to my teachers. I'm like, I don't know if it would hit the same. I don't think so. But I enjoyed those teachers doing that. They are really finding a way to connect with the students and even the team behind them. Those are the cheerleading team dance squad getting involved in the action as well. So I just think it's great.
I think it's funny because everybody thinks back the same thing that Tasia said, like, which one of my teachers would have been bold enough to do that? I'm not sure who that would have been.
So I'm not trying to bring up any past experiences here, but Chilton, you wrapped the weather forecast once on air.
I did. We did it live. My producer dared me to do it because another guy in Beaumont, Texas, another weather guy had done it, so she challenged me and I did it. It is on YouTube. It will never go away, so it's there.
It is truly the gift that keeps on giving. It resurfaces every few months, and it makes me smile all over again. So if any one of us were to do a video like these teachers in Georgia did, it would be Eric Chilton.
Well, now I'm going to have to go and Google Eric Chilton YouTube weatherman rap. See what comes up. All right, well, a famous TikTok star is being reprimanded for not following social distancing. You got to listen to this. The Los Angeles mayor ordered the utility company to cut off his power. This is happening at Bryce Hall's home because he hosted multiple parties. The LA mayor says Hall was warned multiple times to stop throwing these parties that were violating public health orders. And earlier this month, the mayor amended an executive order which now allows utility companies to shut off power to properties hosting large gatherings. Now, I say if you don't follow the rules, I mean, this is just the consequence that you're going to have to go through. And he was warned multiple times. Knock it off.
I mean, that's the way I look at it. Once you've been warned and they've told you, then you know, it's pretty simple. It's just got to stop. You're right. Knock it off. I like that.
Right. It really was a packed party. I've seen videos on social media. There were a lot of people there. It's funny to me because a lot of these influencers, they call them, are the ones who are telling people to follow the rules and wear masks and social distance. And then you find out that some of them are doing things like this. We need to lead by example. You need to walk the walk if you're going to talk the talk in this situation. And if you're warned, I think you're absolutely right. The mayor has told them, police have told them that this is a possibility, and they did not pay attention to those warnings. So we will see what happens with that next. All right, well, I know what's happening next. More of the 4 to 5. It's coming up after the break, so stick around.
Callie is talking about taking a nap. Callie, don't even put that in my brain. Don't even go there. Thank you. A-Tech, A-Tech.
There is a second Panthers Classic game airing this weekend right here on WFMY News 2. We're your official home of the Carolina Panthers. So next up, you will see the 2003 divisional playoff game at St. Louis. The last Panthers Classic game airs on the 29th, and you can watch the Panthers 2015 Thanksgiving game at Dallas. All games air on Saturdays at 8 p.m. And once again, you can watch them right here.
So the North Carolina Zoo, you could say, is a jewel in the crown of the state. I think we all know that. And this month in this issue of Our State magazine, they decided to put our zoo knowledge to the test. They have a quiz. It's pretty cool. So I wanted to see how you would do on this quiz. Put your thinking caps on. Here we go.
All right, folks, quiz time. You know me, I love doing a quiz. Here, let me put my glasses on so at least you think I'm smart. Okay, we're talking about the North Carolina Zoo. How smart are you with zoo knowledge? The zoo takes up nearly 2,600 acres of land near the geographical center of the state. In what county? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Randolph, you should know that, near Asheboro. All right, the idea for the zoo was proposed in 1967 by a service organization that is alive and well today. And by the way, it was the Raleigh chapter. What was that organization? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The JCs. Ah, see, I didn't know that. All right, the two most popular residents at the zoo, arguably, are named Nikita and Anana. What are they? What type of animal? 5, 4, 3, I love these guys. 2, 1, polar bears. Yeah, you probably got that right. All right, here's the last one for you. There is a large bronze statue, a family of animals, in the front of the zoo that greets visitors each and every day. What type of animal are they? Ah, do you remember? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elephants. There you go. There's your quiz. I hope you did well. I got all but one of those. How smart are you with your zoo knowledge, huh?
So Jeff Scortis, who edited that, did not tell me that he was going to give all the hints away. I was watching it over here to the side. He told me he made a few changes. Now I know. He gave you the answers.
He did. He gave us all the answers. I especially like your elephant, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I hear people laughing in the background.
It's Julie Luck. She's laughing at you. We're all laughing at you, let's be honest.
It's the story of my life.
No,
That's
I
what
gotta
get paid
say,
to do.
even with the hints, I still didn't get them all right. I didn't get them all right, even with the hints. I got the Randolph County and the elephants, but everything else,
You didn't get the
no.
white
I think I
bears,
missed the
Tahisha?
JC clue. I was looking at my thing. Well, you know what? I was kind of half listening. That's my bad.
I only have to listen when Eric Chilton speaks too.
Hey,
Just
Tahisha,
kidding.
I put a link to that rap in the Facebook page, so make sure you look at it.
Oh, we're going back to the weather wrap.
I'm there.
Well, she said she wanted to see it, so I threw it in there.
I love it. I love it. Eric, you know I respect everything that you say, and that includes when you give us the forecast. I do.
Right. All right. Let's take a look at that forecast. It is important because we need this rain, the evening showers, to give us a break, and they will. It may take us a day or so to get there, but 60% chance of showers tomorrow afternoon and evening, very similar to what we had today. Rain chances at 60%, but then drop to 50% for Saturday. That's still slightly elevated, but look at these temperatures: 80 on Friday, 83 Saturday. Sunday, it's kind of back to normal, 85, and our normal high this time of the year is 86. So Sunday, a 30% chance of an isolated late day shower, but we get dry 20%, which really means most of us won't see rain. That'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It'll get a little dry there for a while. Lots of sunshine. High temperatures are going to start building. So after we barely make 80 degrees tomorrow, which will feel great, 83 Saturday, 85 Sunday, and then 87, 88, 89. We stair step it up 1 degree each day there as we head throughout Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Lows for the most part in the upper 60s, which is what you'll feel in the morning hours through the weekend. Next week, our lows hover in the lower 70s.
I think Chilton should work on a rap part 2. Well, coming up on WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock, it is only day 4 of the new school year, and many Triad parents, teachers, and students are already frustrated with remote learning. Hear from a parent who feels online learning is not designed for working families and for her children to succeed. That is next on WFMY News 2 at 5.
Hi, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together.
Hello, 1, 2, 3. This is a mic check for you. 1, 2, 3.
Hi there, hello. I'm eating a hard-boiled egg with salt, pepper, and celery.
It's in remote learning only for hard-boiled egg. The smell.